So today's video was going to be an update expressing my frustration with the District of Columbia Mayor Muriel presser a couple of days ago, where she essentially was extolling the benefits and saying thanks to the enforcement surge that Donald Trump and Pam Bondi sent down to the District of Columbia, and crediting it for reduction in crime.
This surge has been important to us for that reason. I want to say that I have been personally engaged with Attorney General Bondi and the President's Chief of Staff, Susie Wiles, and I spoke with the President this afternoon.
So I am going to talk about that, but I first want to shout out the active resistance that's coming in the surprising form of citizens and states. Okay, first the citizens. In the different districts where, in order for the Department of Justice to prosecute for a felony, they require a grand jury. Grand juries in blue cities repeatedly are rejecting DOJ's attempt to prosecute people like protesters. And it's so delicious. It's so good. The first one, well, the latest one, was the guy who threw the Subway sandwich, who used to be a paralegal at the Department of Justice. They tried to charge him with a felony for throwing a freaking sandwich at a guard, which would land him like jail time and like for a freaking sandwich, when they got real criminals out there. So the citizens of DC were like, oh hell no, not on our watch. And here's the thing, there's a saying in legal that says you can indict a ham sandwich. The reason why, there's no attorneys, there's no defense. It's just the prosecutors. They just present like the minimal of evidence, and they usually get grand juries to indict. My husband worked in a grand jury for 6 months, so he gave me a little bit of insights on what it's like. And he said that they just really lay it on thick in terms of you're only getting the perspective of the prosecutors, and that's why they indict so much. There's nothing from the other side. So for them to not be able to get a grand jury, and that's not it. There was a woman who was filming a protester, and she got into a scuffle with some officers. At some point during the scuffle, she might have accidentally bumped one. Do you know they charged this little woman for attack and assault on this big man? And they try to charge her with a felony, which will land her in jail 3 times. 3 grand juries were like, niet, nada, nope. No. And it's not just DC. In Los Angeles, the district attorney, the prosecutor in Los Angeles, tried repeatedly to get grand juries to indict protesters in LA, and they couldn't do it there either. So who knew, in the face where we have Congress abdicating its role, bending the knee to Donald Trump, giving him this stupid bill that's going to cost a lot of money on the taxpayers' back in order to give tax cuts to rich, wealthy people, bending over backwards to confirm all of his unqualified sycophant, Linda McMahon, Kash Patel. See what he's doing. Pam Bondi, who's a freaking terrorist. So is Kristi Noem, and so is Tulsi Gabbard. You see the nonsense she's doing? And RFK Jr. is trying to essentially kill us by conspiracy. A heroin addict, a former heroin addict who has like a brain-eating amoeba, is running the freaking health department, and he's a conspiracy theory. We have an amoeba brain former heroin addict, conspiracy theorist nut job running the Department of Health. And that's why you have all these resignations of the CDC. Anyway, I digress. By the way, get my I digress merch. Where's my I digress? Get my I digress mug at jjlegal.com and support me. Or my cap. Or my I digress mug. You can also get my Operation 2/3 merch. Coming soon is Each One Teach One. So this video is sponsored by jjlegal.com. Okay, so back to the video. So bravo to the citizens, where we have the Congress advocating its role and just doing everything to allow Donald Trump to roll over and attempt an autocratic dictatorial coup of the United States and dismantle democracy as we know it, and all of our sacred institutions from the ground up, just burning down government. Probably is the techno-fascists and the white nationalists running Project 2025 really running the country. Oh my God. Anyway, I digress. So bravo to the citizens. Yay. And also, they also advocating the role is the conservatives in the Supreme Court, who I am surprised by, giving Donald Trump procedural wins with the effect of it is to allow him to carry out his very dangerous, damaging agenda that's causing death and destruction across the world, not just within the confines of the United States, not just uprooting people from their comfort of their home and kicking them out and losing their jobs and just terrorizing. And they know that that's the effect of it, but they don't care. We have the citizens of the United States, the citizens of blue states, and we have the state's attorney generals at the various different states filing these lawsuits and winning. By the way, they have a winning record. The most recent one is Larry Presser, that's his name, of the district DA in Philadelphia, was like, bring it. Like, y'all can come, National Guard, but if you come and y'all do anything to touch our citizens, to violate the laws, that Donald Trump cannot pardon you from prosecution. This is what he says right here in this video. I'm going to play a little bit for you.
If they show up and they start committing local crimes, they can be prosecuted locally. They should be prosecuted locally. And here's the big part. Donald Trump cannot pardon.
Yeah. So, similarly, in my state, my governor had also said, that's what he's saying in this video here, that he has not ruled out all options are on the table, he said. So, Clarence Lamb, who is a senator in my state, said he's already drafted up the legislation to take away our one red district we have out of like 7. I think one of them is red. But he says this is a warning shot to you states. If you try to do what Texas did, you saw California respond. We're Maryland, we got out one. But all the blue states, all the blue districts, we don't want to do this. But we have to fight fire with fire. If y'all going to try to let Donald Trump try to change the map in order to steal an election, then we're going to fight back actively. And again, I love the fact what Larry Presser say is Donald Trump can't pardon you, because that's what he said before. Because a lot of times from the beginning, when everyone keeps saying in my posts, my comments to my posts, like Trump would just pardon him, Trump don't pardon him. Remember, Donald Trump is a 34-time convicted felon in the state of New York, and he cannot be pardoned. He cannot pardon himself anyway, but he was not able to escape that prosecution. He went to the United States Supreme Court to ask them to save him from being sentenced, and they said, no, go take your punishment. So he's a convict. So we're being run by a grifting convict, and obviously in cognitively in decline, who's falling apart at the seams as we speak and watch him, who is just making mush mouth all sorts of crazy things, rage tweeting, rage truth socialing, just making all the signs. Every day he's coming up with a vindictive mood, canceling the vice president's Secret Service thingy, just being petty up and down. He's just an angry man, just like his MAGA sycophants. They're so winning so much, but they are in our comments. They are complaining. They are whining. If you won, sit down and enjoy your wins. But no, y'all can't. You're angry and you're still pissed off. And this is like, which tells you you're empty inside. And no amount of punishing migrants, people of color, women, trans people is going to make you whole. Just remember that. So that's what we have. So back to DC government, DC. Now we can talk about Mayor Muriel Bowser saying that she's happy. I did my own research, and I discovered that from August 11th to August 17th, after Pam Bondi was touting arrests, I surmised that the District of Columbia had arrested 244 people the previous year, which supports the theory that arrests are going down. Now, the reason why she was able to have 500 arrests, as Reuters reported, is because they were arresting people for little minor things like crosswalking, jaywalking, for like possession of marijuana, which is legal in DC, by the way, for like having open bottles of alcohol. And then they have the nerve to go in the White House, put these black men on there, essentially perpetuating the stereotype of black criminality, bodies. All of that is for their MAGA base. If you follow me, I'm JJ Legal. I've told you a lot of stuff they do is just to appease their MAGA base, the little racist MAGA base. That's why they do stuff like they do. It's just for that, for show, because they're not winning in the courts. And the Department of Justice lawyers are saying one thing, and Pam Bondi and all those folks are popping off. And that's why Kilma Alberto Garcia's lawyers have asked for a gag order to say, shut your mouth, keep my name out your mouth. You're damaging the ability for me to have a fair trial because y'all keep calling me all sorts of names. And he should file a defamation lawsuit so he can take their house the way those poll workers took away Rudy Giuliani's house. Kilmar, do the same thing. Let them keep popping off, but you already have plenty ample evidence of them defaming you. All right. Anyway, so yeah, so she's just making up stuff. The stats don't prove it. They don't need to be there. It's overkill. In the Reuters report, they said there was like a DHS. There was like all these cops chasing somebody over a 12-ounce bag of weed, marijuana. Do you really need that? Is that really, it's heavy-handed? They absolutely look stupid doing it, actually. I hate to abruptly end this video. I want to let you know I lost the footage for the second half video. But at the end of the day, I was just essentially just saying that I was disappointed in Muriel Bowser for kowtowing and praising Trump's, because he was going to use that the way he used sound bites and to manipulate. And I'm happy that the blue cities are rebelling. So that's the end of the video. I can't find any other footage. At some point, maybe I'll pick this up later on. But thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. JJ Legal. Each one teach one. Share this video.